The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 252 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
To infinity and beyond!
Hold on to something. It's been 24 years since the original Toy Story in 1995.
It goes on for like minutes longer than it should, and you're like, are they gonna end like this? This is terrible.
To be honest, I didn't think this character was gonna work.
Uh-huh.
They proved me wrong.
You hated him in the trailers.
Y'all let Bob have. Look how long his arms are.
I can't stop being that excited over the fact that it's in Anaheim.
I've never liked dolls ever since going in her house. Yeah.
You couldn't have gone at any other second of the film. Any other second. But you had to go right then. When Kylo Ren told me that I'll never be Rebel Spy, I guess he was onto something.
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets lab.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Are you ready to go to infinity and beyond? Then we want to welcome you to Skywalking Through Neverland. Now, we are your podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to the Jessie, to my Buzz Lightyear. It's my sweetie wife, Sarah.
Well, hey, Buzz. All right. Well, Skywalkers, if you are joining us, we want to give you a big Wookiee hug. You are our family of Skywalkers, and we want to thank you for listening to the show every single week. And if this is new, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome! We love new Skywalkers! This week we are live on YouTube, so we want to thank all the Skytubers. Awesome. And we just love it when you share our joy in this adventure through fandom.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on June the 19th, 2019. All right, Minnie, after so many years, you should be prepared for this next question. What time is it?
Hold on, my phone went weird.
I'm sure it did.
Hold on. Oh, shh.
It's 10:06. Good morning.
No, I thought you had a Toy Story setting on that.
Okay, so there is a Toy Story. Oh, here. But they don't talk.
Well, tell Woody this is an audio podcast.
I know. So here's Woody. See, here's Woody.
Oh, you know what? You know why he didn't say anything?
They don't say anything.
Do you know why?
Why?
Well, I would say, but it'd be a Toy Story 4 spoiler.
Warning. Spoilers ahead.
Oh, so I won't go there. Okay. So you know what? Now I get why Woody's not. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
All right. So we've established what time we're recording, but now we want to establish who our sponsor is. This episode of Skywalking Through Neverland is proudly sponsored by Small World Vacations. They are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to Galaxy's Edge on either coast. Best of all, this service is free of charge, so head to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Like we always say, you're going to love the free service over there because you'll want to spend all your money at Galaxy's Edge.
Exactly, so save money any way you can. Now, coming up on this episode, we'll get into a fun review and discussion of Toy Story 4. The character arcs, the story, fun little Easter eggs to look for, and some spoilers.
Now, also, we're going to be sharing our latest trip report to Galaxy's Edge. So far, we've been 5 times. with the 6th time coming on Friday. And the Peraltas, they sent in their trip report as well. And like we put out on Facebook, we want to hear trip reports from everybody. So if you have a couple of minutes and you want to tell us what you did at Galaxy's Edge, if you tried the blue or green milk, what you bought, did you buy a shoulder porg? Did you buy a lightsaber? Did you buy a shoulder Kowakian monkey?
Ooh, yeah.
If you rode the Smuggler's Run attraction and want to rate that ride.
Did you adopt a creature? Did you go to the Cantina? We want to know everything. So if you can, just take a voice memo on your phone, and then you can email that voice memo to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
Now, Lewis Anderson on YouTube is asking, should I get a lightsaber or a droid at Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, that's...
If it were me, I would say a lightsaber because it's a big production.
Okay. Yeah, well, both of them are experiences, definitely. But I know a lightsaber, like, the whole experience, I mean, I know it touches people. Like, and that's honestly one of the only places in the park where you hear Star Wars music by John Williams.
And you get to hear a legacy character.
Yeah, that too.
I know we've said it in the show before, but I'm not going to say it right now. I want you to go and experience that.
Now, Bryn is also in the chat, and Bryn just recorded an episode of Window to the Magic that's out right now, where you get to hear the lightsaber experience. And then we also have a video on our YouTube channel where you get to see the lightsaber experience. So
that's a good idea. Go over to our YouTube channel, Skywalking Through Neverland, and you can see Teresa Delgado building a droid.
Yes.
And we also have recorded a couple of lightsaber building sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put out a second one very, very soon. So then you can decide which one you want to do.
Definitely.
But if it were me, I'd go with the lightsaber. The lightsaber is $200.
Yeah.
And the droid is $100. So I guess it all depends on your budget as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Although, honestly, so you would build a lightsaber, did you say?
I would build a lightsaber, yes. I think I can get more use out of a lightsaber.
And while I'm thinking about it, if I wanted to enhance my Jedi Tink costume, I think a lightsaber would be the way to go.
Well, there you have it. All right, all this coming up on Things We Want to Share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
Now, before our Galaxy's Edge trip reports, let's talk about Star Wars Celebration. What is it? Anaheim. Oh, I can't stop being that excited over the fact that it's in Anaheim.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Now, StarWars.com, they just released this press report that says Star Wars Celebration will return to Anaheim, California on August 27th through the 30th, 2020. Now, I'm very excited that it's at the end of August. Doesn't interfere with Easter. Doesn't interfere with summer, our summer job. Doesn't interfere with Christmas. It's perfect for us.
Right.
And I know a lot of people going back to school, they're not too excited. There's teachers, there's students.
Yeah, they're kind of sad, and I'm sad for them. It's like, oh, no. In fact, my friend Teresa, she works at school, at a school, and she's very sad. But hopefully she'll be able to make at least part of it. And, that's the hope. So while it's good for us, we know that it's not good for a lot of people, but people who work in taxes, for the past 3 celebrations, they had a hard time going because celebration was always right when taxes ended.
Yes. And when you had to pay taxes.
Yeah, that too.
That made it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so happy it's at the end of August. However, it will be a little bit stuffy. And by stuffy, I mean over 100 degrees.
It'll be hot, but we'll be in the convention center hopefully most of the time, except when we're at Galaxy's Edge with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. It'll probably be crowded, but it'll be fun.
And this will be at the Anaheim Convention Center, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Batuu.
You can actually walk.
Yes. So it's very close to Disneyland, California Adventure, close to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're going to be having one of their last tour to Endor type of big Disney parties there.
I hope so.
Oh, they have to.
They really have to. And we'll be there.
And I'm sure that the convention will be a big commercial for Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, yeah, right? Totally.
Yeah, they may introduce maybe a new attraction, some new stuff.
There you go.
It's a win-win for them. What else do you think they're going to be talking about?
Well, definitely the Disney Plus streaming. I think whatever's going to be coming out that's Star Wars related, they'll definitely talk about.
like season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Ooh, hopefully, yes.
Okay. Or the Cassian Andor Variety Hour. It's not the. I just can't help but call it the Cassian Andor Variety Hour. I'm not sure how that started, but wouldn't that be awesome if it was a variety hour?
It would be. With
Cassian and K2SO hosting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be talking about comic books and novels and the new upcoming film, because they've got to get people excited about the new slate of films coming from Benioff and Weiss.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
There's a lot of Knights of the Old Republic fans out there who are just chomping at the bit for this new series. Now, I've never read any of these books or played these games. It'll be fun to introduce myself to this whole new world of Star Wars I've never been into.
Right, and we have some friends who got into Star Wars because of these video games, the Knights of the Old Republic. So, yeah, I'm curious about that myself. I think I played it like once with some of my friends.
You know what? Honestly, I think I played for about 5 minutes and my attention span just couldn't go much longer than that.
It's true.
And plus, after seeing what they can do with Game of Thrones, so excited about this.
All right, so let's address some of these comments before we move on. Joshua Jordan said that our new segment, which is coming up right now, our trip report, should be called Skywalking Through Batuu.
It writes itself.
It writes itself. So you know what? You are right, Joshua. Let's move on to Skywalking Through Batuu. So after our last episode, we had gone twice to Galaxy's Edge, but now we've been 5 times, and there's a lot more that we've noticed. Easter eggs, all kinds of fun things. So, Richard, let's get into this.
Now, going to Galaxy's Edge is exciting and fun because of the Smuggler's Run, because of the queue, because of the merchandise. But one thing that many people overlook are the interactions with the Batuuans.
Oh, so much fun.
Now, these are the cast members who are now citizens of Batuu, and I keep wanting to call them Batuuians, as they tell me many, many times, they're Batuuans.
They're Batuuans.
And what we've done is we've gone around and recorded many of these Batuuans and their backstories, why they're there, what they know about the Galactic Civil War that took place decades ago.
Also, like, what's going on, like, what's the gossip in town,
and
too.
there's like any town, there's gossip and there's scandals.
Yes.
So we recorded a whole bunch. We're going to release that on YouTube, and next week on Skywalking Through Neverland, we'll go through some highlights from these Batuuans.
Yes. Dora's asking if we interacted with stormtroopers. Yes, we did, Dora.
Yes, and they keep telling me to move along.
They don't like you.
No, not at all. I think I'm just trying to pass through. Move along. Even Kylo's like, you will never be Rebel spy. It's like, what does that come from? What do you know about Rebel spies? This is Batuu. That's Star Tours over in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Word travels fast.
It does.
Now, one of the Easter eggs I was really excited about that we'll go into next week is that you do see somewhat of an appearance by R2 and 3PO.
Yes.
Has anyone seen that? You know what? Let's not tell them where. So you don't really see them, but you see traces of R2 and 3PO. And a lot of people are saying that they're upset there's not many or any legacy characters. Well, there's Chewbacca. He's everywhere.
Yes.
But there are traces of R2 and 3PO, which we'll go into next week. Let's see if anyone here, or if maybe they can tweet at us if they've seen the traces of R2 and 3PO.
Okay, yeah, at Skywalking Pod. Make sure you let us know.
Now, another Easter egg I was really excited about, which I have not seen until that last time on Smuggler's Run, there is the Starspeeder 1000 from Star Tours. So wait a minute, I guess Star Tours does cross over to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh.
So when Kylo Ren told me that I'll never be Rebel spy, I guess he was onto something. Yeah, at the very end of the cockpit ride,
okay,
when we're coming out of hyperspace and we're landing back on Batuu, if you look in the midsection to the left, you'll see the Starspeeder also landing. The Starspeeder 1000.
And it's pretty quick because you were like, oh, Starspeeder! And I looked and I didn't see it. So,
right.
So yeah, you got to be looking in that corner.
Do you know what else I noticed on the Smuggler's Run attraction? I like to push red buttons, as we all know.
Oh.
But there's one red button that I shouldn't have pressed. So you're waiting in the cargo hold, right where the Jerrig table is, and there's stuff to look at. There's buttons to press. Only there's a keyboard that only the cast members should be allowed to access. But you're seeing red buttons everywhere. What's not to say you can't press these red buttons? And it doesn't say do not touch. It's not behind a locked door.
No.
It's sitting right there, a keyboard full of red buttons. What am I supposed to do?
And it's right next to the console, like, of fake red buttons.
Yeah.
Too. And so, Richard, you were pushing those, and you kind of moved over. You were about to push a button on that keypad.
No, I did.
Oh, did you?
I pressed a couple of those red buttons, and that's when I got a couple of panicked looks from the cast members.
Yes.
It's like, oh, what did you just do?
They were like, please stop, sir, don't touch those red buttons.
And at that point, we were called into our cockpit ride, so I don't know if I shut something down because we were escorted away. And I never went back to find out either.
No.
I should have, just to have a conclusion to the story. But if you were at Galaxy's Edge last Friday and you were in the cockpit and it shut down, that's my bad.
Yeah.
That's my bad, and I'm so sorry about that.
Also, we noticed something about Smuggler's Run this time, and because we noticed this, we know kind of how the ride works. So if you want to hear the inner workings of the ride, so we went to our ride, right? We went to the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and then after our ride, we got out, but we were there in the hallway for a while, like taking pictures, right? What were we talking about? We were taking pictures and stuff, and then someone realized they probably forgot something in the cockpit. So we wanted to open the cockpit door again. So then we were waiting, and then the cockpit door opened and new people popped out. We're like, what? This is a magic trick. What's going on? That's not our cockpit. And so we realized that there must be some kind of turntable of cockpits that all connect to the main one that you walk down. So yeah, instead of like a bunch of different cockpits in the hallways that you're walking to, there's one, but that changes, like a turntable. So that's how the ride works, you guys.
So I know that there's 4 different, let's say, platforms, and each platform has got 7 cockpits.
Oh, okay.
So
yes,
now we know how that all works.
Yeah. And as your ride is going around, I'm sure the whole turntable of cockpits, of 7 cockpits, is turning. And so, like, as your ride is going on, other people are getting out and getting on, but you don't know because your ride, it's like a swivel thing, it's like your own special swivel thing.
So there's a tip. Once you leave your cockpit, fall down or tie your shoe or something.
Stick around.
Because seconds later, that door will open to a bunch of new people.
And it was literally like the door closed, and then like 2 seconds later it opened, and new people popped out.
We were
going like,
where
what's happening?
Were you in there with us?
Yeah.
Can this hold 12 people?
And I thought, like, we had 2 people in our ride that were single riders, 2 little kids, and I thought it was those kids coming out, like they forgot to get out with us, but no, they were different kids. So yeah, it was really funny. We freaked ourselves out.
Oh, you know what? On YouTube,
yes,
Jabba128.
Yes,
he discovered the droids.
Oh, R2 and 3PO.
Yes. So if you're on YouTube right now, if you're a YouTuber, a SkyTuber, you'll see the answer. But for everyone else, we'll wait until next week.
We'll wait.
So let's tell everyone that if they want to get the special Spirit gift card, that's one of the things they've got to do first.
Yes. So at Galaxy's Edge, there's some particular items that have been very, very popular. And so if you see them there and you had been thinking about getting them, grab them right away because they might go out of stock again. And one of those is the Batuu Spira, and that's that fancy $100 gift card that's really heavy in your hand.
It's a metal gift card.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'd show you now, except we actually gave ours to my dad for Father's Day. So he got a really awesome Father's Day Disney gift card. So we're looking for that to be back in stock.
Yeah, and they only sell them at Droid Depot.
Yes, and it's at the counter in the non-droid building room, because there's 2 rooms there. And so you have to head there first to find that Spira. And other items we've actually seen out of stock are the Loth cats. They've been out for 2 weeks now. And the Kowakian monkey lizards. Last time we were there, they were all gone.
Right.
And also the special droid backpack that allows you to put your build a droid in that backpack, and it has like the open area so that you can hear and interact with your droid while you're walking around. That's been out of stock. And also some various mugs. So if you see these items, once again, while you're there, just grab them if you wanted to get them.
Now, if you're really, really interested in merchandise, like we know everyone is, head over there to our YouTube channel and you'll see, like 6 videos at this point?
Yeah, we have a lot. And we actually have a whole playlist called Galaxy's Edge, and that's where I've been putting all the videos. So
we have a video on the Jedi robes. We have 2 on droid building and droid maintenance.
That's right. Yeah, we've got the creature stall video.
The Toydarian toy maker.
We got jewelry and Doc-Ondars. Mm-hmm. That's a fun video. And also, Richard, you just put out a new video this week.
Because this is the week that they open the gates to the general public who have not made reservations up to this point. Well, now they're going to open it so everyone can make it there. As long as you make it on time. They have a capacity level, and they don't want to overextend that, because if they do, people will be complaining that it's too crowded, long lines. So if you get there very early, you can get in, and if they have any spots left over, you can get on a boarding pass.
Yeah, you can get a boarding pass wait list, basically.
Which is like a fast pass.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone who has not made it to Galaxy's Edge just yet, and you'll be going over the summer, well, we have put together a video called Galaxy's Edge 101, and this explains the story and background of Galaxy's Edge. We've seen a lot of questions come in like, well, what is Batuu? Have we seen it before? And how come everyone wants blue milk? And now, I'm a casual fan, but I don't know what the Empire and the Rebels are doing there. Well, they're not the Empire and the Rebels. It's the First Order and Resistance. So there's a lot of questions people have about going in. So we collected all these questions and we made a video that explains the backstory and the story of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, especially if you're more of a Disney fan and not as much of a Star Wars fan, it really helps.
Yeah, because we don't want anyone to feel lost when going in. And once again, that's been something that people have been saying, that I don't want to feel intimidated. I don't want to feel lost while going in. Well, I know what's going on. Well, this video will answer all of your questions regarding Batuu and Galaxy's Edge. So go over there to our YouTube channel, and it's called Galaxy's Edge 101. Now, with that, let's hear what the Peraltas have to say about their visit to Galaxy's Edge.
Hey, Skywalkers. Hey, Richard and Sarah. This is Rick, Eliza, and Lisa. Peralta's just finished our trip to Galaxy's Edge, and we just wanted to share some thoughts. Eliza, what did you think about your chance today?
It was amazing. We made a R2 unit droid that has a purple head, white and silver body with blue and black parts. It was so fun making it, and I have a Pori, and the experience was so fun because I had a R2-D2 headband on today, and a stormtrooper came up and I forgot what it said. What did he say?
It questioned your allegiances.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had a great time.
And you got to meet Vi today too, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It was really cool. If just say ignite the sparks to her.
And then what happened?
She'll tell you some stuff, and she might even give you a mission.
And what did you think about flying or going on the Falcon and doing Smuggler's Run?
It was really cool. I can't say about all the parts, but I was engineer, and it was really fun because you push buttons. I like pushing buttons.
You're truly after Richard's heart, especially when they're red buttons, right?
But mine was orange.
Close enough.
And green.
What'd you think of Oga's?
I like the drinks I got. I got the Hyperdrive or Punch It drink and the Cliff Dweller. I came in a poured cup. Poured.
And I'm not super thrilled with spicy things, but as you guys know, I'm diabetic, and none of those drinks are super diabetic friendly. So I did try the Blurg Fire today without the habanero on the lip, and it was divine. It was absolutely delicious. I could have had 3 or 4 of those without a problem, I think.
And the Bespin Fizz is amazing. It's so yummy and it tickles your nose. But that one's alcoholic.
So definitely not kid friendly on that one.
But it was cool because when I saw the hyperdrive, it was purple.
And what about the rest of the day? Anything special or fun that you enjoyed today?
Oh, when you go, definitely have the Play Disney app.
My phone didn't like you playing with the data pad.
It murders it. Bring a charger.
What about the food? Did you like what you had to eat today? What'd you eat?
I had the tip-yip.
Fried tip-yip.
Fried tip-yip. And I also, for breakfast, I had overnight oats.
Notes. And that Mustafar roll was pretty darn tasty, I think, too. At lunch today, Lisa and I split what was the rib thing?
Yeah.
Was that I don't remember what that was called, but the ribs were quite delicious. And then I also, since we were splitting that, I went ahead and got the Ronto wrap, since everyone's been raving about that. And, I'm not a fan of sauces. I'm not a fan of slaw, but that thing was so delicious. I didn't take any of that stuff off. It was really, really good.
The desserts. Get raspberry one.
And I would say, actually, no, the other one. That coffee custard.
Chocolate cake. And then the raspberry one, it's a cream puff with a raspberry mousse inside it with this yummy stuff on top with a chocolate medallion on top. It's good.
Was there anything else special or fun that you had with today? You had a great time, right?
Uh-huh. But it was very interactive in there, and everyone liked my porg outfit.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Thank you, Mommy.
And definitely everyone loved Lisa's dress that she had. It was kind of a repurposing of a dress that she had made for Halloween to do Hera. And she added a bunch of patches to it and got lots of great reactions from it. They can't hear you nodding.
Oh, yes.
So this is the Peraltas saying, till the spires, and we'll look forward to seeing you all there at Batuu pretty soon.
Bye.
Thank you, Rick, Eliza, and Lisa for your Galaxy's Edge trip reports. And once again, Skywalkers, we want to hear from you. So please make an audio clip and send it on in to share at skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. Record it through voice memo. Record it any way you want, and we want to hear from you, what you liked. If there's something that didn't meet your expectations, couldn't imagine that. If you liked green milk versus blue milk, if you liked Smuggler's Run, and it's anything. We want to hear what you have to say.
And I really liked that they mentioned some food items and some drinks, because we were going to go into some of that, but you know what? You guys covered it all. So thank you very much. And also, what a great tip. If you see Vi Marati, just whisper, "Ignite the spark" to her.
Right.
And see what happens.
And call her Magpie.
Ooh.
I can't tell you why you should say that, but let's just say it's something upcoming from a novel. I've said too much. I've said too much, but call her Magpie.
Okay. All right. Now, before we dive into Toy Story 4, we have some important information regarding Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge if you'll be visiting after June 23rd. And this info just dropped. So here we go. The Disneyland app is your friend, because the day of your visit, you can check the app to see if you can walk right into Galaxy's Edge or if you'll need a boarding pass. And the only way you can get a boarding pass is if you've already entered the Disneyland gates and your ticket has been scanned, because everything is linked to your park ticket. And if you don't have the Disneyland app, there are places around Disneyland, which they still haven't said where, but you can get a fast pass for the land, basically. But it's the same thing as the boarding pass. It's just everything is easier on your app. So just download that app. Also, we already knew about those boarding passes, but there's been some new info regarding reservations for Savi's workshop, which is the lightsaber building, and Oga's Cantina. Now, this is very important because if you want to book a reservation for these experiences, you can actually do so on the same day of your visit, beginning at 7 a.m. with a valid credit card. So, reservations for both experiences will also allow you access into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at the time of the reservation. And I'm assuming it will also allow access to your party. You know, like if you're doing the lightsaber experience with someone or you have a friend, you can create that boarding party on your Disneyland app. So basically, if you have one of these reservations, it won't be necessary to join a boarding group. You know, you can actually enter the land at the time of your reservation, which is actually a really good thing to know.
So it's kind of like when they were doing the first reservations, if you had a hotel room,
yes,
then you were automatically entered into Galaxy's Edge.
Exactly. And depending on the time of your reservation, now you don't have that 4-hour window. You can just stay in the land after your reservation. So just so you know, beginning June 24th, you can make a reservation on the Disneyland app, at Disneyland.com/Savi's workshop or Disneyland.com/Cantina. And if you try to go to those website addresses right now, then Stitch comes and says, "Oh, someone ate the page." And it's really cute. So try going there because it's cute. So that's all we know so far. And since you can make reservations at 7 a.m., I'm assuming that anyone can make these reservations on the app, not just the people who have their park tickets scanned through the Disneyland gate. Yeah, and I'm assuming that 7 a.m. is going to be like app crashing time. So that's the new info. Woohoo! You heard it here first.
All right, with that, let's dive right in with our friends Buzz, Woody, and Jesse as we talk Toy Story 4.
Woody? Why am I alive? You are a toy. You belong to Bonnie. These are your friends. Who wants to go on a road trip?
Me! I know, this is a little strange, but we all have to make sure nothing happens to Forky.
Something happened to him.
Buzz, we gotta get Forky.
Roger that.
The panic is attacking me!
Change of plans. Jesse, Ham, Buzz, Bo, Rex, Potato Head.
Hey, watch it,
Where
buddy.
do we go?
Let's go save a spork.
I know the perfect toy to help.
Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
He's posing.
Yeah.
Duke, we need
Hold on. One more. Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Woody'll save me. I've known that guy my whole life. 2 days.
Toy Story 4 arrives in theaters on June 21st and continues the saga that started in 1995 with Toy Story. All of our favorite characters are back. Buzz, Woody, Jesse, Rex, RC Racer, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and Bo Peep, who is a ray of hope to the other toys this time around.
She's a ray of hope? What could that mean?
And we are also introduced to Forky, which is a new character that's made up of a spork, a pipe cleaner, clay, and a popsicle stick.
To be honest, I didn't think this character was going to work.
Uh-huh.
They proved me wrong.
You hated him in the trailers. Well, to be fair, I was like, what is this?
I didn't hate him. I just thought, where can they go with this?
Exactly.
Then when I saw that Tony Hale was voicing him, that's when I turned around on him.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob House. Look how long his arms are.
I am not a toy. I was made for soup, chili, and then the trash.
Tony Hale, as you know, was Buster from Arrested Development.
Yes.
And he's just got a great cartoon voice.
He's also in Veep, though
Yes.
we've never seen him in Veep.
Nope.
I was lucky enough to see Toy Story 4 twice, once with Bryn MacKinnon of Window to the Magic and once with you, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so before we begin our review, we have to mention again, there will be spoilers ahead.
Attention Skywalkers. Spoilers ahead.
Warning. Warning.
Attention Skywalkers. Spoilers ahead.
Warning. Warning.
Now let's catch everyone up with where we last left off with the Toy Story gang. In Toy Story 3, Andy, his toys were accidentally donated to Sunnyside Daycare, but Woody tries to convince Buzz and the gang that Andy meant to keep them, not give them away. So Woody finally convinces the others of Andy's mistake, and they attempt to escape from the daycare. However, Lotso, do you recall Lotso? He's the gruff but huggable warden bear.
And he smells like strawberries.
Of course he does. Well, he tries to block their getaway. Woody and friends discover a way out, which is through the trash. And after a harrowing and forever traumatizing scene with an incinerator, the toys make it back to Andy's house.
Do you remember that scene? I was completely traumatized.
Oh, yeah.
It goes on for like minutes longer than it should. And you're like, are they going to end like this? This is terrible.
Will they be molten plastic?
Yes.
In a few seconds?
Oh, it completely traumatized me.
Yeah. Spoiler. Nope. They make it to Toy Story 4. Now, instead of storing his toys in the attic, Andy donates them to a little girl named Bonnie, and they all live happily ever after.
Toy Story 4 picks up now with Bonnie and her first day of kindergarten orientation. This is where Bonnie creates Forky, which is a craft project made up of those aforementioned random items, such as a spork. So now Woody takes it upon himself to babysit this new toy as Bonnie's family embarks on a summer road trip. And that's where we pick up.
And the adventure and hilarity start from there.
Yeah, because all the toys go along the road trip too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Richard, let's tell our thoughts about this film. Now, remember you guys, this is where we will get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen Toy Story 4, maybe tune out for now and put those comments in later when you've seen it.
Spoilers ahead.
Warning.
Has it really been 9 years since Toy Story 3?
When did Toy Story 3 come out?
9 years ago.
So 2010? Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And hold on to something. It's been 24 years since the original Toy Story in 1995.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, I wasn't even in high school yet. I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm. I was done with all of my schooling. So, the Toy Story saga has been going on for almost a quarter of a century. My first reaction is, this is the best film of the year.
Whoa!
Yes, I know we've had Captain Marvel, we've had Endgame.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Oh, yeah.
So far, this is by far the best film of the year, and I don't see any film surpassing it until December 20th when The Rise of Skywalker comes out. Yeah, this film just, it has everything. Mm-hmm. It has humor, it has suspense, lots of heart, and it crafts all of this around a very well-told story.
What would you say the theme for this one is?
I would say the theme for this one is letting go.
Ooh.
It's not as dire as The Last Jedi when Kylo Ren says, "Let the past die." Mm-hmm. This is letting go. Now, I'm sure we've all been to that place in time when you know that a friendship or something has just reached its end. And it's okay. It's okay to part ways. It's okay to let go. If that will mean we're going to grow in the process, then it must be.
Right. It's okay to move on, basically.
Yes. And it's a very, very heavy theme for a children's movie, but I think this is great for kids to know because kids like to hang on to what they feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
and if they don't grow out of that when they become adults, and we know these adults, they just want to cling on to the past, comforting moments, these staples in life. Where this is where I really, really had my defining moment, so I'm gonna stay right there. But not these toys. These toys teach us a little something about letting go and moving on.
Sometimes change can be good.
You can't teach this old toy new tricks.
You'd be surprised.
And of course, I think the primary theme for all these Toy Story films is friendship. Here, Woody, he's such a giving toy and the greatest friend you could ever have, because when Bonnie goes to kindergarten, well, he's concerned for her. what is she gonna do? She doesn't have any of her toys with her. She needs help. And Woody sees how anxiety ridden Bonnie is, so he jumps in her backpack and goes to school with her, and sees that she's not having a good time. She's not fitting in. So he's the one that finds all these random pieces that become Forky and slides them over to her without her knowing.
Right.
And she sees all these pieces and puts together a brand new friend. All right, so what are your thoughts?
I laughed the hardest. I cried the most. And I was like terrified in places. And more so of those three things than any other film this year. Because it's so funny. There's scary parts. Like there's like horror parts. And it's so emotional. I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster ride. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. And man, I should have brought a whole box of tissues. Because wow. And then of course, there's Bo Peep. Which we'll get into her a little later. Because Bo Peep was a fabulous character. I can't say enough about how awesome she was. I also in Toy Story 4, I love the expansion of the Toy Story universe. Because if you think about it, each movie has kind of grown. Like the first movie was just their yard and then Sid's yard, the evil kid next door. And then the second movie, they branched beyond to like Al's toy barn. Mm-hmm. Remember that? And what happened in Toy Story 3? Well, they went all the way to the daycare, right?
Yeah, right.
So in this movie, I mean, there's a road trip. They go in an RV.
Right.
And then also, I just have to touch on the music.
Oh, please.
Because it has a great soundtrack. I am like downloading this soundtrack immediately. I mean, each time a toy left the RV to help other toys, there was some really fun adventure music that went along with it. It was really fun. It was kind of a Western theme. And also, when Woody was sneaking around with Forky in the streets of that new town at dawn, like, boom, 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 boom. There was all this Mickey Mousing of the soundtrack. It was very cute.
If anyone has any doubts about Forky, lay them aside. Because it was a fun character.
Bo, 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 bo. Okay. Well, before we move on to characters, I do want to mention Bryn MacKinnon. I saw this film with her. She is a mother of two, and I always like to get her perspective. And later on, we'll hear some more mom thoughts. But right now, I just want to read a bit of what she wrote about her thoughts on Toy Story. So here she goes. Before I saw Toy Story 4, I felt the same about a fourth Toy Story as I did about a live-action Aladdin. I didn't think we needed it. But now that I've seen Toy Story 4, I know that we needed it. I found the closure this final entry in the series gives us so satisfying. It's a great story with a lot of attention paid to the emotional health of the characters.
Very well said. And
that actually leads right into our characters. So, Richard, who was a character that stood out to you?
Bo Ray.
Woo! Now, why do you call her Bo Ray?
Now, to go back a step here, Bo Peep was a lamp owned by Andy's sister, and it was given away at the beginning of the story.
There was a confusing moment in that scene when Bo Peep says toys get lost all the time and sometimes given away in a box that they shouldn't have been in. Well, so Woody was thinking of joining her in that box and going to this new house, but then Woody hears Andy call, "Woody, where's Woody?" And he can't leave his child.
Okay.
And it tears your heart. Like that, right there. It was like 2 minutes into the film, I was sobbing.
So later on in the film, we see that Bo Peep, well, she has been stuck in a vintage antique store for a couple of years.
9 years.
9 years is a couple of, yeah, when you're my age, 9 years is a couple of years. And Bo Peep just said, you know what? Screw this. I'm out of here. And just leads her own life. Her and her three little sheep, whose name I'm forgetting.
Oh, Billy Goat Gruff.
Billy Goat Gruff. Yeah, they go off on their own. They're doing their own thing now. And now Bo Peep, she's like Rey from The Force Awakens. She's got her staff. Uh-huh. She uses it like a weapon. And she's not someone that you're going to tangle with because she will get the best of you. And like Rey, Bo Peep is now a scavenger. Mm-hmm. She travels around in this remote control skunk and collect toys to use as survival instruments and anything that she can use to survive. And she got those arm wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Which later
yeah!
we found out that...
No, don't say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so all along I'm thinking, wow, she is so much like Rey.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I will also say that Bo Peep, she was great. I mean, she's adorable. She's loving at times. You know, she knows the right things to say, but she's always tough, and she absolutely knows herself. I mean, as she says to Woody in the film, I'm not the one who's lost at a certain point. Like she knows who she is, and you have to respect that. And I love how she's thoroughly feminine. I mean, she's so cute with her porcelain face and everything. And she has a skirt that she can actually remove. So the skirt is not porcelain, and it's a reversible skirt that then turns into a knapsack, and then a really awesome cloak with a cute clasp. So she's not only, badass, but she's very fashionable.
All right, now the watchful and harmonious subscriber on YouTube is saying, here's a question for you two, Rich and Sarah. If you can go back in time and get your one most favorite toy as a child, who or what would it be? I don't need to go back in time. I can just go into the next room and get it.
What's yours?
Get all my toys that are in the other room. My favorite toy as a child? Wow, that could... Oof. You know what? Let's go before Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
And I would say my MEGO Batman figure and the MEGO produced Batmobile.
Oh.
It's the exploding bridge with Batmobile and activator. Batman's included. Pretend Robin is held prisoner. Batman's in the Batmobile. You can send him to the rescue. Imagine the villain uses the comic action activator to stop Batman as he crosses the bridge. He's made it in the nick of time. The exploding bridge with Batmobile and activator comes with Batman, Robin sold separately. From MEGO.
I love this toy so much. And whenever we would take a trip to New Hampshire, I've always tied this to the back of the car on like a string, thinking this is a real car, so why can't it travel to New Hampshire? And my mom said, that would last maybe a block before it would get run over, before it would go under the wheel, and it's plastic. It doesn't have rubber tires.
Oh, so she'd make you put it in the car?
Yes, and I'm so glad she did, because it's a toy. It's not meant to drive from state to state.
Wow, I'm trying to think. Like, I had my stuffed animal gang, I had my Barbie gang, and then I had all my Playmobil house, and they all lived in the Playmobil.
Yeah.
You too?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I had. I mean, my stuffed animals I would always sleep with. So from time to time I had favorite ones, but they'd rotate. But I think I always liked my deer. So I had this little reindeer one that I had gotten from a trip to Denver to Colorado, and I really liked that deer. And then I have a bigger deer. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's probably my stuffed animals, but like I said, I thought of them as groups. So I would play with them in little groups of toys.
Do you still have any of these stuffed animals?
Oh yeah. Remember I had my very first stuffed animal, the little kitty cat? That I had as a baby.
That's in our bedroom.
Yeah, it's in our bedroom. So along with your Winnie the Pooh, right? That's
my Winnie the Pooh,
your oldest toy. So we have our oldest toys.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one there too. I have this little Winnie the Pooh, which I still have.
Should I get him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll share the story.
Okay.
That it's a 7-8 Winnie the Pooh, and my sister Lisa thought it was hers, but no, it was mine. We kept going back and forth. And one day my mother took Lisa and I down to the duck pond to feed the ducks. And my mother said, Richard, do not throw that Winnie the Pooh in the... And there it went. But she said not to do it, so you know I had to do it.
Uh-oh.
But then this guy, he took off his shirt and jumped in and got it for me.
Aww.
And boy, I can remember feeling terrible about this. And I was probably 4 years old when this happened, but I still recall feeling terrible. Now, oh, you guys, look, everybody. Look, Sky Tubers. This is the Pooh in question.
Look, you gotta go right up and see all the poor, look at how this poor little thing.
Sarah, that doll predates you.
It does.
It's mine.
Okay, so this was apparently in my crib as a baby. This little baby kitty cat. It's my oldest toy. Look how cute. I mean, the poor thing, both of them, they've been loved. It's like the Velveteen Rabbit, right? They've been loved off. All their fur's been loved off. But yeah, that's my little kitty. The ears won't really stay straight, but we still have them. They're our oldest toys.
Now, continuing on with characters, one of my favorite characters was Duke Kaboom.
Oh.
And voiced by Keanu Reeves. And he is a Canadian Evel Knievel ripoff. I don't know if anyone here has ever had those Evel Knievel toys as a kid.
I have not.
And
Did
I
you?
did. Oh, I sure did.
Ooh, tell me about them.
Evel Knievel was a stuntman.
Okay.
Back in the 70s. He wore a white jumpsuit, white spandex jumpsuit with a red, white, and blue V on his chest with little stars. And he was it. He was it back in the 70s. Because back in the 70s, we didn't have the internet and much else to go on. So it was this guy, Evel Knievel, and they made toys of him. And they had a winding contraption. You wind it up, and when you wound it up enough, the Evel Knievel doll on the motorcycle would take off.
Okay.
And that's where they got the character Duke Kaboom. And in the commercials, this toy would do jumps, it would do spirals.
This is Evel Knievel and the Evel Knievel shock-absorbing stunt cycle. You can make him do wheelies, backstands, even mid-air somersaults. And for that big jump, here's Evel, up and over that 4-foot ditch. Evel Knievel, sold separately or with the Evel Knievel stunt cycle from Ideal.
But guess what it actually did? None of that.
It went like maybe 5 inches.
5 inches and then would fall over. And when they did this parody in Toy Story 4, it was like traveling back to 1973 for me. Because, and I'm sure some one of these filmmakers here had that same experience, because that experience matched what really happened with these ill-fated Evel Knievel toys. And now here was this character, Duke Kaboom, and he was owned by this French kid. And the
French-Canadian.
French-Canadian, yes. And he got the toy, it went 5 inches, and said, you know what, never mind this, and threw Duke away.
That's how he ended up in the vintage toy
Yeah, so
shop.
that's how he ended up in the vintage toy shop.
Or it's just a vintage shop. It's a...
antique shop.
Yeah, antique, thank you.
So he realized he didn't want this toy because it didn't work. And Duke always saw the French kid in his mind, like saying, this is junk, this is never going to work. And he's always had that hang up. So whenever it came time to go the extra mile and save the characters, I won't go too much into that, but it's time where he's got to live up to his reputation. Well, he just gets in his head and flops over. And I just had the best time with this character. And the fact that this mirrored my own life with this toy never working, I thought was just awesome.
And his catchphrase is great. Oh, yes, you Canada.
There was a lot of Canadian puns.
There really was.
He had this evil guy mustache. I'm not sure why, because he wasn't evil.
What does Evel Knievel look like? Does he have a mustache?
He doesn't have a mustache, no.
Oh, okay.
No, but this guy had the mustache that went down. It was like a goatee without the hair on your chin.
Oh, so like a Fu Manchu, I guess? I think?
Yeah.
I don't really know what that is, but I think it's...
Fu Manchu is a little bit more stringier.
Oh, okay.
That goes down past your chin.
Okay.
So this is just, it really said 1970s.
And speaking of, Watchful and Harmonious says, Evel Knievel was my most awesome favorite toy in the 70s, along with my $6 million man.
Oh, the $6 million man. That was awesome. All right. Give me one of your favorite characters.
Okay.
Aside from Forky.
Okay, well, I won't talk about Forky, but I will talk about Gabby. So Gabby is introduced in the vintage shop. Why am I in the antique shop?
Yes.
Yeah. And you think she's going to be the bad person in the film, like the bad guy. So
she kind of is.
Well, okay, so yeah. So in previous films, you had a definite bad guy. Like in Toy Story, you had Sid, who was the bad kid. In Toy Story 2, you had Stinky Pete, who pretended to be nice, but then was Stinky Pete. And then in Toy Story 3, you had Lotso the bear, also who pretended to be kind of nice, but then turned into a really overbearing, overbearing
I hear the pun. I hear the pun.
Thank you. Person. But in this film, you think, okay, we're going to go with this mold. Gabby is very sweet at the beginning.
My name is Gabby, and this is my very good friend, Vincent.
Oh, Woody, pleasure to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Woody. And you are?
This is Forky.
I'm Trash.
Our kid made him.
Kid? Toys around here don't have kids. Are you two lost?
Lost? No, but we are looking for a lost toy. She's a figurine, used to be on that lamp in the window. Name's Bo Peep.
Bo Peep? Oh, yes, I know Bo.
You do?
Hop on in. We'll take you to her.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that. Well, okay.
Vincent, be careful with our new friends.
But then her 4 marionette goons come on in and you're like, oh, so she fits that mold of being so sweet, but turns out to be terrible. But instead, she is so completely sympathetic. She is just such a great character. She's voiced by Christina Hendricks and
from Mad Men.
And what I love about her, and from Firefly, she's in Firefly. But what I love about Gabby is that she's sympathetic and she uses that sympathy. Like that's what she's good at, being sympathetic to people, being empathetic. And she uses that to get what she wants.
Well, it's like any really well-developed antagonist. They want something. They may not go through the best means to get it, but they've got that perseverance that where they're going to achieve their goal, even if that means harming or destroying others. And we won't spoil that.
No.
So she's a very complex character, and when describing her, think of her as those 1950s or 60s little baby dolls.
Yes.
Get the large brown eyes with the long eyelashes.
Yeah, and they open and shut. Right.
My sister had those. Freaked me out.
Okay, one of my aunts collected those, and you went into her house, and like literally you know how our house is filled with like Star Wars things? No, her house was filled with these dolls all over on the backs of couches, on the tops of shelves, like all over.
No, you know what? Why did you say that?
It was so creepy.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
I've never liked dolls ever since going in her house.
Wow. And like you were saying, she's got these 4 goon marionette dolls. Not really marionettes.
Were they not?
No, they were called Vincent. Think of the movie Dead Silence, the horror movie, where you have the wooden doll, but and it just looked so terrifying. Ooh. So Gabby had these 4 demonic Vincent dolls that were her henchmen, and they were kind of like zombie-ish, which made things even scarier. Because there's a chase around this antique shop, and wow, it was. If I were under the age of 5, that would give me some nightmares.
I'd be terrified. Yeah.
And another part in this antique shop was Bo Peep knew the secret knock to the other Lost Toys secret lair.
Yes!
And it was like a party room inside a pinball machine.
Oh, is that what it was? A pinball machine?
Yes.
Cool!
So that's where she brought Woody, and this was a great scene, so I'm told, because Sarah, you saw something off to the side I didn't see.
Yes, there were some great Easter eggs in here. And the second time I watched it, I remembered, okay, don't look at the main characters. Focus on what's in the background, because you know a Pixar film is going to have Easter eggs. Well, first of all, right when she opens the door to this secret room, you get a cameo by Tinny, which is the tin toy from the 88 short film Tin Toy.
So Tinny opens the door to the pinball machine, and who's sitting in the corner? Sarah, you tell him, because I didn't see him.
Well, okay, so the camera like pans around, and if you're looking kind of to the right of the screen, you'll see a vintage Obi-Wan Kenobi figure.
And you know what? I didn't see it, because that's when the guy in front of me stood up to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Stood up right at that moment.
Yep. Oh.
And Sarah's like, oh, look, there's Ben Kenobi. And as soon as the guy in front of me passed by, it cut. We never saw him again.
And all I saw, I know. All I saw, though, was Obi-Wan. He was like bringing up his lightsaber to duel a different non-Star Wars toy. But unfortunately, because he stood up, I missed who that toy was. Like, Yeah.
You couldn't have gone at any other second of the film. Any other second. But you had to go right then.
Oh.
Sometimes you just can't win.
I'm sorry. Well, those were the Easter eggs we caught. There's many, many more, I'm sure. I do want to point out that Justin Smith, who is on, he says that Woody was originally going to be a ventriloquist dummy doll. And I do remember hearing about that, Justin. Thank you.
I wouldn't have wanted to see that because ever since the movie Magic in 1978, ventriloquist dummies always gave me the heebie-jeebies. All right, now we cannot leave the character discussion without mentioning Ducky and Bunny.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. These are the two characters voiced by Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, and they were prizes at a carnival.
They had been prizes there for like 3 years.
Yes. Here comes Buzz Lightyear. The Ducky and Bunny like, hey, what are you doing here? What's up with this?
You took our top spot. What's up with that?
Yeah, and you can tell
to infinity and my foot.
You can tell these two just had a lot of fun improving their scenes.
You and Jordan Peele are playing two new characters, Ducky and Bunny.
Yes, that's me.
You're Ducky.
That's me. I'm Ducky. And Jordan is Bunny. Yeah. First time in his life he's ever been taller than me.
Wow, good for him. He must be so happy.
Holding that close to his heart.
He must be so happy.
We were looking at the characters for the first time. He's like, so I'm the big one? All right. Yeah.
And for this one, though, you did sneak in a song.
We did sneak a song in for this one. Yes, they let us do a lot of improvisation, which was really lovely because we got to record together. And in animated movies, I don't know if you guys know this, but in animated movies, very often you're only recording by yourself. And so the fact that we got to interact with each other was really, really helpful. And they put a bunch of lyrics down for us one day, and they said, so once you guys find out that this thing's going to happen, we're wondering if you could just kind of burst in song. And we're like, oh yeah, whatever song you want. And they're like, no, we don't really have the song. Could you write a song right now? Could you make up a song? And then it was one of these weird moments where we just looked at Jordan. Jordan looked at me, and all of a sudden said, we got a kid. We're doing the song and singing songs and singing songs. We doing this now. We playing it down. We got a kid.
You just can't script that kind of fun dialogue.
Oh, no, you would have like the scripted dialogue, and then they'd keep talking as some of the other characters would start talking themselves, but then if you just listen to their dialogue, it was hilarious.
Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and roll in some of Ducky and Bunny and their nonstop hilarity.
Hey, up here, Astro Boy. If you think you can just show up and take our top prize spot, you're wrong. Dead wrong.
You don't understand. I'm trying to
cheat the system and get with a kid? Yeah, we know.
No, I need
a child to shower you with unconditional love. Join the club, pal.
Yeah, join the club.
Come on, help me get out of here.
I'll help you. With my foot.
Get him. Get him.
Bunny, what are you doing? I can't reach him. Help me out here. Come on.
Oh, sorry, Ducky. I'm not a mind reader, you know.
What's not to understand? You gonna make me say it?
What?
With these tiny legs, I cannot reach without your help.
Oh.
All right? Okay? This is what I've been talking about, Bunny. You need to work on paying attention and your listening skills.
Ha! How you like that, cheetah? Huh? Wow! Yeah!
To infinity and my foot!
So we saw a lot of them in the trailers and the promos, and I'm so glad that they used them to their fullest potential.
I agree.
It's a bunny and a ducky. How do you go wrong with that combination?
And why are no kids choosing them as their prize? I mean, I would have chose the bunny.
Because it's a carnival booth game, so those are all rigged.
Okay, yeah, you make a good point.
But in the end...
Well,
okay.
Yeah, just say, watch through the credits, you guys.
There's like, what, 17 post-credit tags?
Yeah, watch all through the credits.
Yeah,
like, people left and they missed stuff.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, 16 or 17... Not really post-credits, but...
No, the story keeps going.
Intercutting through the credits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you'll see that...
Okay, shh.
Won't say any more about that.
Okay. Well, let's bring about our concluding thoughts.
Okay. Once again, this is the best film of the year.
Aww.
I love this. And in the end, everyone comes together, and as friends do, sometimes they have to say goodbye. For another 9 years until Toy Story 5.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, bring tissues. I mean, all the gang, you know, they've truly broken up. They're gone their separate paths, yet they've all grown and learned a thing or two, not just for themselves, but from each other. And I have to say, Woody's story parallels Captain America's in Endgame. So remember at the beginning of this discussion, we were talking about how Woody had a choice to stay with Andy or go with Bo Peep, and he chose Andy and not himself. Well, basically, after a lifetime of sacrificing himself for his kid, Andy and Bonnie and others and all the other toys under his watch, he takes a moment for himself and he retires with his love.
Aww.
Bo, just like Captain America retires with his Peggy.
And oddly enough, Woody does settle down with Peggy Carter. I don't know how they retconned this, but they did.
Okay, and this is where I have to bring up Bryn MacKinnon's thoughts as a mom, especially. So I want to read what she wrote about this Toy Story 4. I'm a mom, and it's hard not to watch movies about family, whether it's a family created by blood, marriage, adoption, or chosen family, without viewing it from a parent's perspective. The completion of Woody's arc in this film hit me really hard. His journey has been one of taking care of the needs of his child or children, always putting their needs before his own. But at the end, after he has made many more heroic efforts to give children and toys what they need in their lives, after a lifetime of serving others, he finally takes something for himself and joins Bo on her freelance life. And it wrecked me. The courage and the grace it took for Woody, after so many years of unfailing dedication to his calling, to recognize that it was okay to put himself first was so beautiful. Make sure you pack tissues. Aww. And it's true. We were like sobbing by the end of this film.
Yeah, I think Woody also realized that Bonnie had moved past him, so he wasn't really needed there anymore, needed at Bonnie's household. Because in the beginning, Bonnie is playing with all her toys, and for several times in a row, she leaves Woody behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's Woody letting that go, one of the main themes of the film, and moving on. And it was okay to move on. He was going to be missed by Buzz and Jesse and everybody else, but sometimes you just have to move on to progress your life.
Yeah.
You can't hang on to the past, which is what I've been doing for a long time.
What do you mean?
with vintage stuff. But it doesn't define me.
No. You use it to keep going, I guess.
Yes. But with Woody, it defined him. My love for vintage doesn't define me and doesn't hold me back.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's okay. There's certain things, certain interests you've had, and you just gotta let them go. Things have their time.
Now, Justin brings up a good point here. Yeah, but when Andy visits Bonnie and says, "Hey, have you taken good care of Woody?" What's Bonnie gonna say? She lost Woody.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's in the shower right now. Come back later. Oh, he's got a lifetime of that.
Yeah. Oops. All right. Wow. Well, this was really fun, and please go see Toy Story 4, or if you haven't, and I hope you enjoyed our review if you did, and please leave comments. Did you like Toy Story 4? Let us know.
So, to infinity and Neverland on Alderaan.
Neverland on Alderaan. Shout-outs, Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout out. Who was photobombed? Shout out. Who was shared a post? Shout out.
We got a new iTunes review, Richard.
How many stars is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
5 stars.
There you have it.
And it's entitled Super Geeky Community of Star Wars Disney Family. This is by Winamus. And they write, if you're a Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney fan, this couple creates a great community to nerd out and just soak in all the glorious details of the movies, parks, and all things related to Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney IPs. Yay!
Oh, thank you very much. love that. And once again, as always, want to hear from all the other Skywalkers. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Tell us what you think. Now, one thing I do want to bring up is that when my Talking Apes co-host, Marco Gushewitz, he was just in Arizona, a little town in Arizona, and he's wearing his Talking Apes t-shirt. A guy in back of him said, Talking Apes? I know that podcast. And Mark said, oh, do you listen to it? He said, no, but I hear Rich and Sarah on Skywalking Through Neverland.
Talk about Talking Apes.
Yeah, that's how he knew about Talking Apes, because he's heard us talking about it on Skywalking Through Neverland.
That's hilarious.
And I said, Mark, did you get his name? He said, no, we were at a video store. Who goes to video stores? And there was a long line.
People of a certain
age. At a video store? And so he didn't want to hold things up, so that was it. So cut to like an hour later, and I get something from our good friend Eric Warren on Facebook. He says, hey, Rich, just ran into a guy wearing a Talking Apes t-shirt.
Small world. Wow.
That was funny.
That's super hilarious. Hey, I know that show. I don't listen to it.
The coincidence of the week.
Wow. All right. We are also very active on Instagram. We are at Skywalking Pod. And lately we've been posting a lot from Galaxy's Edge. And Richard, when we were last there at the Cantina in Galaxy's Edge, we actually got a booth. And I videoed you pushing a red button in the booth. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
And I put it out on our Instagram at Skywalking Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And you were doing your silly thing. Trying to push the red button, right?
As I always do.
And so Jeremy Hunt, he wrote in the comments, I want to be rich when I don't grow up.
You'll be surprised, or maybe unsurprised, to know that I hear that pretty much every day.
I thought that was just a great turn of phrase. So thank you, Jeremy.
We love Jeremy
I
Hunt.
married Peter Pan.
And yet I will never grow up. No. I'm going to be a Toys R Us kid. All right, now let's turn to Dan Barry of the Forcecast.
Yeah, he wrote this lovely direct message. He said, you and Rich are always leading a group of friendly folks around. I love that so much. You both have such infectious personalities and are natural-born leaders. Your posts, videos, and podcasts all give me such a jolt of happiness no matter what. Aww. So that was very, very, very sweet. So thank you, Dan.
All right, now should we go ahead and welcome the newest member of the Skywalking Force?
Why, yes, we should.
And that is Jennifer Cole.
Yay! Thank you, Jennifer, for becoming or re-becoming a member of the Skywalking Force. And she gets to listen to our latest episode, which we put up there, our latest bonus episode, which is part of our Galaxy's Edge very first trip. And that was actually on May 31st. The first day of Galaxy's Edge. And we recorded those with binaural microphones. It was like you're walking around with us.
Well, it records in 3D sounds. So it's like stereo on steroids. It actually feels like if you close your eyes, the quality is so crisp that you would think that these things are happening right around you.
Yeah, it's surrounding you.
And it's funny because we didn't even... I forgot that we were recording, so you get to hear all of our first reactions and us freaking out.
It's super cool. And you can listen to that if you become a member of the Skywalking Force. So head to skywalkingforce.com and check out all the levels there to subscribe.
And thank you in advance. Well, that wraps up this toy-rific episode 252 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We'd like to thank all of you Skywalkers for listening. I'd like to thank everyone for watching all of our videos on YouTube and all the YouTubers, the SkyTubers right now who are watching us.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations. Are you just thinking of a trip to Galaxy's Edge? Well, you can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. It's no obligation, so just go do it. And their vacation planning service is free of charge. So save all the money you can. Check it out and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
And please check out the other shows on the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Including the Culture Popcast and Sabers and Spells. And you can find them at skywalkingthrough neverland.com.
Huge thank you for everyone who listens, and huge thank you for everyone who is part of the Skywalking Force. If you would like more Skywalking Through Neverland in your life, check out skywalkingforce.com and help support the ever-growing Skynet. And as a reminder, our Skywalking Force exclusive episode, our first trip to Galaxy's Edge, is up right now, and it's like walking into the park with us on opening day. So be a part of the Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com. If you'd like to support us in a different way, please just share the show with a friend, or click like on this video, or click on the links to Pozu shoes, Oppo suits, or TeePublic on our website under the Support Us tab. And right now, TeePublic is having a sale up to 35% off. So you can get $14 or $13 t-shirts, and we have our new Skywalker's Rise t-shirt design, which is really cool. So make sure to head to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and the Support Us tab to check those out.
And head over there to our YouTube channel to once again see all of our Galaxy's Edge merchandising videos. We have one on the Jedi robes, the lightsabers, Droid Depot, the jewelry, and our brand new one, Galaxy's Edge 101, where you can learn the backstory on Batuu and find out what you should need to know before you go.
You can also find Skywalking Through Neverland at jedinews.co.uk and fanthatracks.com. You can also join us on social media. We love that. We are at Skywalking Pod for Twitter and Instagram. You can also join our Facebook group, which is a lovely, lovely community. Just go to Facebook and search for Skywalking Through Neverland group and request to join, and then answer the questions that pop up. You can also email us. Please email in your voice memos about your Galaxy's Edge visits or your thoughts on Toy Story 4. Email those to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com. And once again, Apple Podcast reviews are greatly appreciated. Now stay tuned for bloopers and other fun conversation right after these credits. And now, Richard, to infinity and
Neverland on Alderaan.
Neverland on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
To our Skywalkers and Tweetwalkers, thanks for listening. Skywalking Through Neverland is created and produced by Richard and Sarah Woloski. Original music by Rob Dellinger. Creative consultant Mark Augushowitz. Technical advisor Peter Heitman. Facebook administrators Donald Wicks, Joey Pittman, and Norma Heitman.
Skywalking Through Neverland is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, and clips played during this podcast are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is property of Skywalking Through Neverland, all rights reserved. Sorry, had to be said. Hey, Skywalkers! Are you ready to go to infinity and beyond? Oh, I know you are. And then, I'm sorry, the porg. I caught sight of the porg.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, there will be. Actually.
Don't make fun of me.
Yeah. You brought it up first.
Yes, but it's one thing to say, it's like when someone disses your family.
I can't win.
Only you can diss your family.
I can't win. I put the mind knock down. Come on. This whole show will be recorded in stereo. Stereo.
Oh, it took me a minute to get that one.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't in the notes.